Hey Sagittarius Fire Tarot. I need to talk to you about something I just picked up from the cards, and honestly this reading came through so clearly that I had to sit with it for a minute before recording. This message is for you if someone has been acting like they do not care, playing it cool, maybe even pulling away when you know deep down there is something more going on beneath the surface. So I shuffled the deck with your energy in mind, and the first card that came through is the Six of Cups. Now this card immediately tells me we are dealing with someone from your past or someone who carries a lot of nostalgic energy with you. This person is not new to your life. There's history here, and that history runs deep. What I am seeing is that this person has been in their feelings about you way more than they are letting on. The Six of Cups brings this energy of looking back, of remembering the good times, the moments you shared, the connection that felt easy and natural. But here's what is interesting. This card often shows up when someone is stuck in a memory loop. They are literally replaying moments with you in their head, thinking about what was, what could have been, or what might still be possible. And yet outwardly they are acting like none of this matters. They are pretending they have moved on or that you do not affect them anymore. But Sagittarius, the cards are not buying it, and neither should you. What I am picking up here is that this person associates you with a time in their life when things felt simpler, purer, maybe even happier. You represent something to them that they have not been able to find elsewhere. And that is actually part of why they are playing this cool detached game right now. Because admitting how much you still mean to them would mean admitting they have not been able to replicate what you two had. It would mean being vulnerable, and for whatever reason vulnerability feels too risky for them right now. So instead they put on this mask of indifference. But the Six of Cups is telling me their heart is absolutely not indifferent. Their heart is very much still tethered to you and to what you represented in their life. I also want to point out that the Six of Cups has this energy of innocence and sometimes even healing. So this person might be going through their own internal process of trying to heal from whatever caused distance between you two. They might be working through their own issues, their own patterns, their own fears. And part of that process involves them stepping back and acting like they do not care because they are trying to protect themselves while they figure things out. But make no mistake, you are very much on their mind and in their heart, even if their actions do not show it. Now the second card I pulled is the Three of Swords. And okay, this one hit differently because it confirms that there has been real pain in this connection. The Three of Swords is one of the most direct heartbreak cards in the entire deck. This tells me that either you hurt them, they hurt you, or both of you experienced some kind of painful situation that created a rift. There was a moment, or maybe a series of moments, where words were said, actions were taken, or truths came out that caused genuine emotional pain. And that pain is still sitting there between you two. Like this heavy unspoken thing. What I am seeing with the Three of Swords in this particular reading is that the reason this person is pretending not to care is because they are actually still hurt. They are protecting a wounded heart. Think about it, Sagittarius. When someone experiences deep emotional pain, especially in a connection that mattered to them, one of the most common defense mechanisms is to shut down, to act cold, to pretend like the person who hurt them does not matter anymore. It is a survival instinct. It is their way of saying, I am not going to let you hurt me again, so I am going to act like you do not have any power over me. But the presence of this card tells me that the hurt is still very much alive, and that is exactly why they are behaving this way. I am also getting that this person might be replaying whatever happened between you two over and over in their mind. They are analyzing it, questioning it, maybe even blaming themselves or blaming you. The Three of Swords can indicate that someone is stuck in a mental loop of pain where they cannot quite move past what happened. And when you are stuck in that kind of painful mental space, sometimes the only way you know how to cope is to put up walls and act like you have moved on even when you have not. So their cool detached behavior is not actually evidence that they do not care. It is evidence that they care so much that they got hurt, and they are still processing that hurt. Here is something else the Three of Swords is showing me. This card can also represent a necessary pain, a pain that needed to happen for growth or clarity to emerge. So whatever caused this rift between you two, as painful as it was, might have actually been serving a purpose. It might have been forcing both of you to look at things you were not looking at before, to confront truths you were avoiding, to grow in ways you would not have grown otherwise. And sometimes when we are in the middle of that kind of transformative pain, we do not have the capacity to be open and vulnerable with the person involved. We need to retreat. We need to protect ourselves. We need to pretend we are fine even when we are not. The third card that came through is the Three of Pentacles, and this is where things start to shift because the Three of Pentacles is about collaborate, teamwork, building something together. This card is telling me that despite the pain, despite the pretending, there is actually potential here for something real and solid to be built. But here is the key. It cannot be built on games or pretense or people acting like they do not care. The Three of Pentacles requires honesty, effort, and both people showing up authentically to work on something together. What I am seeing with this card is that the universe, or spirit, or whatever you want to call it, is actually trying to guide this connection toward a place of mutual respect and genuine partnership. But for that to happen, the facades need to come down. The person who is pretending not to care needs to drop that act and be real about their feelings. And you, Sagittarius, might need to be willing to meet them halfway with your own honesty and vulnerability. The Three of Pentacles does not show up for surface-level connections. It shows up when there is real potential for something meaningful and lasting. But only if both people are willing to put in the work. I am also picking up that this card might be hinting at a future where you and this person could actually create something together, whether that is a relationship, a project, a shared goal, or simply a healthier dynamic. But the foundation has to be authentic. There has to be mutual effort and respect. And right now, with them pretending not to care, that foundation is not there yet. So the Three of Pentacles is kind of like a promise from the universe that says this could be really good if both of you are willing to be real with each other. But it is also a gentle nudge saying the games have to stop first. Now the fourth card is Strength, and I have to tell you, Sagittarius, when this card comes up in a reading about someone pretending not to care, it is always significant because strength is about inner courage, resilience, and the power that comes from being gentle yet firm. This card can represent you, it can represent them, or it can represent the energy that needs to be present for this situation to move forward in a healthy way. If this card is representing you, it is telling me that you have more inner strength than you might realize right now. You have the capacity to handle whatever this situation brings. You do not need to chase someone who is playing games. You do not need to convince someone to care about you. Your strength lies in knowing your worth, in being patient but not desperate, in being open but not naive. The Strength card often shows a figure calmly holding the mouth of a lion, which symbolizes having power over something wild or chaotic, not through force but through gentle confidence. That is the energy you need to embody here. You are strong enough to let this person work through whatever they are working through without losing yourself in the process. If this card is representing the other person, it is telling me that deep down they have strength too, but they might not be accessing it right now. True strength would be admitting how they feel, being vulnerable, dropping the cool act, and showing up authentically. But fear often makes people hide their strength. They think being guarded is strength when actually real strength is being open even when it is scary. So this card might be a message that this person needs to find the courage to stop pretending and start being real. I am also seeing that strength can indicate a time period where patience is required. This is not a quick fix situation. Whatever is happening here is going to unfold in its own time, and trying to force it or rush it will not work. The Strength card asks you to be patient, to trust the process, to believe that what is meant for you will not pass you by. And in the meantime, focus on your own inner strength, your own growth, your own peace. Do not let someone else's inability to be real with their feelings shake your foundation. The fifth card that showed up is Strength again, but actually I realize I need to move to the next card, which is the Ten of Pentacles. This is a big energy card, Sagittarius, because the Ten of Pentacles represents legacy, long-term stability, family, and the kind of abundance that lasts across time. This is not a fling card. This is not a casual connection card. This is a card that speaks to something much deeper and more enduring. The fact that the Ten of Pentacles is showing up in a reading about someone pretending not to care tells me that this person might actually see you as someone they could build a real future with. And that might be exactly why they are scared. When someone sees you as more than just a temporary situation, when they start envisioning you in their long-term future, in their family, and their legacy, That can be terrifying, especially if they have been hurt before or if they are not sure they are ready for that level of commitment. So sometimes people pull back and act indifferent, precisely because they care too much and the magnitude of what they feel overwhelms them. I am getting that this person might be doing some serious internal evaluation about their life, their future, what they want long term. And you factor heavily into that evaluation even if they are not telling you that. The Ten of Pentacles can also indicate that there are external factors at play like family opinions, financial considerations, timing issues, or other practical matters that are making this person hesitate. They might be thinking about what it would actually mean to commit to you fully, and they are weighing all the real-world implications of that. And while they are in that contemplation phase, they are keeping their cards close to their chest and acting like they do not care as much as they do. But here is what I want you to understand, Sagittarius. The Ten of Pentacles does not show up for connections that are meant to be fleeting. This card appears when there is genuine potential for something lasting and meaningful. So even though this person is playing it cool right now, the energy between you two is actually much more significant than they are letting on. This is someone who could potentially be in your life for the long haul if both of you are willing to work through the current challenges and be honest with each other. Now we move to the Knight of Pentacles. And I love that this card came through because it gives us insight into either how this person is moving or how the situation is going to unfold. The Knight of Pentacles is slow, steady, methodical, and incredibly reliable once they commit. This is not a knight that rushes in with grand gestures and passionate declarations. This is a knight that takes their time, thinks things through, and only makes a move when they are absolutely certain. If this card represents the person who is pretending not to care, it is telling me that they are taking a very measured approach to this situation. They are not impulsive. They are not going to suddenly show up at your door professing their feelings. They are moving slowly, carefully, weighing every option, considering every angle. And I know that can be frustrating, Sagittarius, especially for your fire sign energy that wants things to move and happen and resolve. But the Knight of Pentacles operates on a different timeline. They value security and stability over excitement and spontaneity. What this tells me is that even though this person is acting like they do not care, they are actually still very much engaged with this situation in their own way. They are processing, they are thinking, they are planning. They just are not showing their hand yet. The Knight of Pentacles does not make rash decisions, and they definitely do not reveal their intentions until they are ready to follow through. So this person might be working on themselves, getting their life in order, preparing to show up properly before they let you know how they really feel. I am also seeing that the Knight of Pentacles can indicate that when this person does finally make a move, or when they do finally drop the act of pretending not to care, it will be genuine and it will be solid. This is not someone who is going to give you empty promises or temporary attention. When the Knight of Pentacles commits, they commit fully. So the waiting period you might be in right now, as annoying as it is, might actually be serving a purpose. It might be giving this person the time they need to get to a place where they can offer you something real. The seventh card is the Wheel of Fortune, and oh Sagittarius, this is such a powerful card to have in this reading because the Wheel of Fortune is all about cycles, timing, fate, and major turning points. This card is literally telling us that things are about to shift. We are at a pivotal moment. The wheel is turning, and what has been is not going to be what will be much longer. The Wheel of Fortune in the context of someone pretending not to care suggests that this act, this facade, this game they are playing, it has a shelf life. It is not going to last forever. There is a cosmic timing element at play here, and we are approaching a point where the energy is going to shift dramatically. This could mean that something external happens that forces this person to drop their guard. It could mean that you experience a change that alters the dynamic between you two. It could mean that fate or destiny or whatever you want to call it is going to intervene and create a situation where the truth has to come out. I am seeing that the Wheel of Fortune often appears right before a major change. And the fact that your title literally says this finds you before a major change is not a coincidence. The universe is confirming through this card that you are standing at a threshold moment. Things are about to turn. The energy is about to shift. And when the Wheel of Fortune moves, it moves with a force that cannot be stopped or controlled. So even if this person is determined to keep pretending they do not care, the wheel is going to turn in a way that makes that pretense impossible to maintain. This card is also reminding you that you cannot control the timing of when someone else decides to be real with you, but you can trust that there is a larger orchestration at play. Sometimes we have to surrender to the wheel, to the natural unfolding of events, to the way things are meant to happen in their own time. The Wheel of Fortune is asking you to have faith that what is meant for you will come to you at exactly the right moment. The eighth card that came through is the Magician, and wow, when this card shows up, it is always about manifestation, personal power, and having all the tools you need at your disposal. The Magician is card number 2 in the major arcana, and it represents someone who is skilled, resourceful, confident, and capable of creating their own reality. If the Magician represents you, Sagittarius, it is a reminder that you have so much more power in this situation than you might be giving yourself credit for. You have the ability to manifest what you truly want. You have the skills and resources and inner magic to create the kind of connection and life you desire. And here is the thing, you do not need someone else to validate you or choose you or stop pretending they do not care for you to step into your power. The Magician is about self-sufficiency and knowing that you are the creator of your own experience. If this card represents the other person, it is telling me that they are actually quite skilled at managing their image and controlling the narrative. The Magician can sometimes indicate someone who is good at manipulation or at presenting a certain version of themselves to the world. So this person might be very deliberately crafting this image of not caring, of being unaffected, of having moved on. They might be using all their communication skills and emotional intelligence to maintain this facade. But the question becomes, why are they using their power in this way, and what would happen if they redirected that energy toward being authentic instead? I am also seeing that the Magician appearing in this spread is a sign that manifestation is active right now. Whatever you are thinking about, whatever you are focusing your energy on, it is taking form. So this is actually a really important time for you to be clear about what you want. Do you want someone who plays games, or do you want someone who shows up authentically? Do you want to chase someone who pretends not to care, or do you want to magnetize someone who is open and honest about their feelings? The Magician is reminding you that your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions are literally creating your reality right now. The ninth card is the King of Swords, and this card brings a very different energy because the King of Swords is all about truth, clarity, logic, and cutting through illusions. This is someone who values honesty above all else, who sees through games, who operates from a place of clear-minded discernment rather than emotional reactivity. The King of Swords showing up here tells me that there is a need for radical honesty in this situation. No more pretending, no more games, no more dancing around the truth. Someone needs to step into King of Swords energy and just be direct about what is really going on. This could be you, this could be them, or this could be a call for both of you to raise the level of communication and stop operating from a place of fear or pride. If this card represents you, it is saying that you have the mental clarity and emotional maturity to handle the truth, whatever it is. You do not need sugarcoating. You do not need false hope. What you need is clarity, and you are strong enough to receive it even if it is not what you want to hear. The King of Swords gives you permission to ask the direct questions, to request clear communication, to stop accepting breadcrumbs or mixed signals. You deserve to know where you stand. If this card represents the other person or the energy they need to step into, it is saying that they need to get out of their feelings and into their logical mind for a moment. They need to assess this situation objectively and make a clear decision about what they want and what they are willing to offer. The King of Swords does not waffle. He does not play games. He makes decisions based on truth, and then he communicates those decisions clearly. So this is a call for this person to stop the charade and be real about their intentions. I am also picking up that the King of Swords can sometimes indicate that a conversation is coming. A conversation where things are finally going to be laid out clearly. This might not be a warm, fuzzy, emotional conversation. It might actually be quite direct and matter-of-fact. But sometimes that is exactly what is needed to cut through all the confusion and get to the heart of the matter. The 10th and final card in this reading is the Three of Cups, and I find it really interesting that we end on this note because the Three of Cups is about celebration, community, friendship, and joyful connection. This is one of the happiest cards in the entire deck. It shows three figures raising their cups together in a toast, celebrating something wonderful. The fact that this card appears at the end of a reading about someone pretending not to care gives me a lot of hope for how this situation is going to resolve. The Three of Cups suggests that there is actually a lot of joy and positive connection possible here once all the pretense and pain is worked through. This could indicate that you and this person end up in a really good place together, celebrating your connection and what you have built. Or it could indicate that regardless of what happens with this specific person, you are moving toward a time of genuine happiness, supportive friendships, and joyful experiences. I am seeing that the Three of Cups can also represent authenticity in relationships. These are people who genuinely enjoy each other's company, who celebrate each other, who are real with each other. So this card at the end of the spread feels like a promise that all this pretending and game playing is not the final chapter. The final chapter is actually one of authentic connection. Whether that is with this person or with others who come into your life, the Three of Cups is also telling me that you have people around you who genuinely care about you, who support you, who celebrate you. So while you are navigating this situation with someone who is pretending not to care, do not forget about the people who openly and authentically show up for you. Those connections are valuable, and they deserve your attention and appreciation. So to bring this all together, Sagittarius, here is what the cards are saying. Someone is definitely pretending not to care about you when they actually care a great deal. The Six of Cups shows they are caught up in nostalgia and memories of you. The Three of Swords reveals that there has been real pain that they are protecting themselves from. The Three of Pentacles indicates potential for building something real together if both people get honest. Strength reminds you of your own inner power and the need for patience. The Ten of Pentacles shows this person might see you as long-term material, which could be why they are scared. The Knight of Pentacles suggests they are moving slowly and methodically through their feelings. The Wheel of Fortune promises that change is coming and the pretense cannot last. The Magician calls you to step into your own power and manifest what you truly want. The King of Swords demands clarity and direct communication. And the Three of Cups promises joy and authentic connection. On the other side of all this, you are standing at a threshold moment. Things are about to shift, and whatever is meant to be will unfold in perfect timing.